I gotta find a way to get Cass's money back. I don't know what to do. I got it. I'll start rapping. My name is Sean. I know I did wrong. I gotta get the money back. I used his card. Now it's all gone. What do you mean the money's all gone? Ho. Hello one, hello all. It's the misfit ghost of them all, Casper in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Childish Gambino, Ativista. It's late, I'm sorry. Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, is a singer, songwriter, rapper, actor, screenwriter. Truly a jack of all trades. And truly a multi-talent. But I can't say I've been a fan of his catalog. The debut Camp to me was just Donald wallowing in his customized misfit complex. Following it up with Because the Internet, littered with derivative vocals, cringe-inducing lyrics, not to mention the aimless 72-page screenplay that came with it. I did, however, enjoy Awaken My Love, not one of my favorite albums of all time, but definitely an enjoyable album, where he did a tasteful display of funk, soul, and did it very well, with easily his best production yet. I felt it had great ballads, great jams. Vocally, Donald was more passionate and definitely more substantive when it came to the songwriting. And after that, we had a cycle of singles, which was leading up to a new album with the fantastic This Is America, or Feels Like Summer, which grew on me through time, which was a soulful, breezy cut, where This Is America did not land on the 3/15/20 album, but Feels Like Summer did, which leads to the reason why we're here, which led to this absolute dumpster fire of an album, where the quality just sounded so demo, so thin, so lifeless, so goofy at times, poorly written, poorly performed, which led to the ultimate head scratcher, just leaving me asking, like, why? Why would Donald put something like this out? What was the purpose? What was the meaning? What was the meaning of this horrible album? But 4 years later, in the year 2024, I got my answer. Because we definitely got improvements here. With the mixing, the singing. This time around, everything seems more present. It seems more well defined. Although that does not change the fact that the vocals do come off still derivative. The lyrics do come off cringy, which is unfortunate. And the title track, although it does sound finished and definitely better than what we got on 3/15/20, it just sounds to me like a Pharrell song. The song originally Vibrate with 21 Savage. Although the synth layers and the bass feel fuller here and have more color, this still to me sounds like a Prince meets Anderson .Paak parody with some very weird lyrics that just really go downhill. The song Sweet Thing, even though I do enjoy the bass here, I do enjoy the pattern of it, I do enjoy the percussion patterns. In a weird way, it reminds me of a soulful Venus and Furs from Velvet Underground. But the chipmunked Frank Ocean style vocals are still grating, still inescapable, and the immensely vapid attempt at romantic bars here are just cringe-inducing, which sounds like something a second grader would write to their crush. You take me to the fair, but I don't really care. You wouldn't change a hair. I always make you cry. No matter how I try. Sometimes I wonder why. They just feel so impersonal and so aimless. And it really just gets more awkward from there. But you'll just have to listen for yourself. However, I do admire the ascending vocals here. I do feel they are better, much better than the original. I do like the bright organ leads, the Summer Walker inclusion, but the laughable, nasally Prince impression is still there. And the song Human Sacrifice, just, to me, I will admit, it does sound like a better Kanye song, like something he was trying to do off of My Dark Twisted Fantasy, or maybe Yeezus. But what is this fake accent? What is this corny bridge? I'm hoping, praying we are together, no matter the weather. With how talented Gambino is, With how talented Glover is, I feel he continually decides to sell his audience short. Because he can sing, he can write, but I feel he decides to phone it in and it just gets really, really tedious to listen to. And there's also violence, which I do feel shares important social commentary on societal violence. But to me, the song feels a bit stiff and repetitive. And also, the vocals are very touched up here. I do feel this is one of the redone inclusions that does falter, because the vocals sound AI and manipulated. And had it not been there, I do think that the soul and the rustic feel would be more present here. But I do think the ending is cute, and there is a beautiful woodwind section. I just wish it wasn't so touched up. But I did walk away enjoying more tracks on here than I did on the Trash Fire that was 3:15:20, except for time. That thing is still an ungodly mess, and I do think it definitely overstays its welcome. The song Algorithms, I still have my reservations with, conceptually, with how faux technological fear-mongering it is, that reads as fake deep diatribe, how technology will end us all. But this time around, there's more punch to it in terms of production. It feels more impactful, it feels more apocalyptic, and the bass is definitely more industrial bass and rhythms are definitely more confrontational, definitely more nightmarish. The song To Be Hunted I still feels conceptually great, and to differentiate from the original, the drums have way more punch, the chords sound more blissful, the guitars are stellar, the vocals sound more sweet and soulful and don't sound like a cheap Prince knockoff, and I do love the reverse rhythms on here. And the guitars are funky as hell. It definitely sounds like an actual cohesive song. And there's also Bigfoot, Littlefoot, Bigfoot, Littlefoot, that starts off very fun, very silly, like the original. And the backing croons here give it more life. The claps are way more crisp. The vocals are definitely more panoramic, which gives it more pep and more memorability. And I love the blissful bridge that leads into the killer Young Nudie verse. And the closer, immensely better than the original. I feel like he's way more fiery here, sounds way more motivated. It feels like I'm actually getting the original experience he was shooting for. And in terms of vocals, in terms of the production, there's way more power. It feels way more final. And definitely more beauty to it. Singing and rapping with a purpose here, and definitely sounds more angry and more fired up and doesn't sound goofy as hell like he did on the original. And the backing choir is definitely more enchanting, definitely more uplifting. So while there are highlights on this thing, there are improvements here, I do think that this is a decent project, not a great project, because it still lacks the lyrical ability. I don't think it's as touched up to a degree where I feel this thing is immensely better on all cylinders. It's no Life of Pablo redux, but I would rather listen to this than that garbage fire that was 3:15:20 any day of the week. But having said that, I walked away from this thing liking a few tracks on here, but I would like something more cohesive. I do feel Childish Gambino has it in him. I just haven't heard it completely yet. I feel we were onto something with Waking My Love. But let's hear something new. Let's hear something fresh. Let's hear something different. So having said that, I'm feeling 3 black hearts out of 5 on this album. But if you've given this a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And that's it. Caspa, Got the Ghost, Childish Gambino, Ativista. Till we meet again.